Alrighty, so the Lone Friday game is in the books, and the first game of match week number 22 is also in the books. And honestly, I beg MLS in terms of bringing back more Friday night game. I remember a couple of years ago when this was a regular thing where we see a Friday night game, and that I don't get why MLS decided not to bring it back. Especially, I want to thank NYCFC in terms of creating these Friday games for the past couple of weeks because all these Lone Friday game that we've seen NYCFC have involved has been very entertaining to watch. And this was another one of those, though. If you're an NYCFC fan, yeah, this got very dicey late in this game. And forget about the 2-0 lead is the most dangerous scoreline in soccer. I feel like this season in MLS, it feels like the 3-0 scoreline is the most dangerous scoreline so far because, there's been a couple times where we've seen 3-0 leads that has been blown, and in this game, yeah, NYCFC almost blown a 3-0 lead, and in some way, this was kind of the game of two halves of how this one plays out. Now, in the first half, 1 minute in, Angulo with the game's first shot, and his shot actually was spilled by Freeze, but was able to gather on the second attempt before Ojeda puts it way wide from long range. Not much really happened, at least in the early bit of this game, as the shots were only 2-1 for Orlando, though I thought Orlando was having problems at times in terms of dealing with these long ball that NYCFC had. Whenever NYCFC decided to play direct, Orlando was kind of a little out of shape at the back, and that kind of plays a crucial role for out this game as well. Though in the 15 minutes, Stadahai would deny Martinez from close, but then in the 60-minute, Santi Rodriguez will score. He scored from Martinez and Jones, and it was a great goal here, maybe an early contention for a goal of the week, but also it came off a bad turnover from Orlando, which is another thing that was a common theme, especially in the first half. I mean, Orlando, the amount of time that they just turned the ball over in the own half has to be very frustrating if you're a Lions fan. And then we saw a bit of a scary incident in the 19th minute as it was just a nasty collision that happened between Stadahire and Jones. It feels like both of these players was going in opposite direction. And again, this is kind of the scary thing you usually see on a soccer pitch, where when both guys are going for the ball at the same time, both running in opposite direction and collide with each other, yeah, you just kind of had to hold your breath. And here, it seems like both Stadahire and Jones kind of caught each other in the leg. Both of these guys obviously would not return. Both of these guys were down with serious knee injury. Malachi Jones had to pretty much be helped off the field, and unfortunately, it looks like that either could be an A injury or it could be a broken leg. But Stadahai actually had to put on a stretcher here, and yeah, it feels like he might have just got the Maxine Crepeau treatment from a couple of years ago with a broken leg. So yeah, just a very sad scene. It was a very long delay too. Like it took like 12 minutes for everything to clear up. But by then, Jones of course was replaced by Ojeda, and Stadahai basically was replaced by Otto Leon, who's making his debut for Orlando City. But the shots up to that point after the delay, it was 7-2 for NYCFC 34 minutes in. I thought NYCFC definitely came out of that delay the better side. They were pushing for the second goal. Rodriguez would put one over from the free kick. But then the second minute of stoppage time, Hannes Wolf would score. He scored from Gray to make it 2-0 in favor of NYCFC. Once again, just some sloppy defending here from Orlando City. Just giving the ball away in your own half there. Like that is something you just can't do as a defensive team. Santos did look to answer, but he hits this one right to Freeze. But then the 12 minutes of stoppage time, because there was 13 minutes of stoppage time because of that long delay that we had in the first half. Augustino Ojeda would score from Tavon Gray and Thiago Martins, and it was really just champagne soccer from NYCFC. Just a lovely team goal there, lovely build up to create that goal. But yeah, it was 3-0 in favor of NYCFC. I mean, Orlando looked like they after that Mason Stoudemire injury, they just got completely rattled. Like the team was clearly not on the same page, and unfortunately they found themselves 3-0 down heading into the second half. Now the good news for Orlando is that they did pick themselves up in the second half. Whatever Oscar Pereira must have said in the second half kind of worked because they started creating some chances. Torres would put it wide from long range before Freeze denied Torres from close range. Orlando, of course, had the better second half, but you kind of question where was this when it was still 0-0. Then the post would deny Angulo as the flag went up here, so even if Angulo puts it in, it wouldn't have counted. And then he hits one right to Freeze in the 61st minute. The shots were now 11-6 for NYCFC 60 minutes in. At one point, it was 11-2 in favor of NYCFC. So Orlando really started to get back into this game. Moriel would then blast one into Long Island, but then in the 72nd minute, guess who? Dagger Dan for Halson. He scored here to get one back for Orlando City. And again, normally when a team gets one back and they're down 3-0, you're thinking, maybe that maybe is a consolation goal. Well, you have not seen what has happened this season in MLS, and like I said, the 3-0 lead. It feels like this season it might have now become the most dangerous lead in MLS because all of a sudden the momentum now is with Orlando City. Moriel would then puts it high from long range. Again, the momentum was clearly with Orlando, and this is where NYCFC got to be careful because again, the 3-0 lead. It seems like this season it's the most dangerous lead, and that it is pretty clear that NYCFC have completely took their foot off the gas and was being way too complacent here in the second half. Martinez would then hits it wide from close before Freeze denied Moriel. And then on the second effort, Moriel actually push Freeze to the advertisement board. Yeah, obviously when you decided to push the goalkeeper into the advertisement board, and I don't think this was intentional. It was Moriel kind of carry that momentum, and then he accidentally bumped into Freeze. But obviously when you do that, yeah, you're not going to make any friends. In fact, you're definitely gonna get attention from the other team. Obviously, Freeze, he was not happy about that. He definitely take exception to it, and I don't blame him because when you're a goalkeeper and that has happened, you're gonna take exception, and that obviously there was a bit of a coming together because of it. Both Freeze and Mario would get a yellow card, though the fans definitely didn't think that it was enough. In fact, the fans basically told the ref that he really sucked. The fact that there was only the yellow card for both of these players and not a potential red card. So in the 82nd minute, Martinez would puts it wide from long range, but then in the first minute of stoppage time, Luka McGuire would score to make it 3-2 in this one, and this goal was all because NYCFC didn't clear their lines. How many times we have said when you don't clear your lines and give team your opposition chances to bury it on a second or even a third chance, you're gonna get punished. And this is when I said, oh, the meltdown could happen for NYCFC, and you kind of saw it coming too. They were just being way too complacent here in this the second half. And even though I know that goal came on the first minute of what just was only 3 minutes of stoppage time in the second half. Kind of had a sense that this could be a problem for NYCFC, and we've seen before MLS After Dark is a drug in this league, and it feels like it was going to be that in this game as well, right? Well, no. Fortunate for NYCFC fan, in the third minute they would clinch this game, and of all players to basically says lights out in this game, it's Musa Bakra that scores the fourth goal, only his second goal this season. And the way that he scored that goal, especially when he went in on goal and was able to tuck this one into the bottom right corner, you would have not guessed it that's a guy that has been mostly snake bitten this season. I mean, I even made a running jokes about how he's just basically not allowed to score a goal this season for a very long time. But that has to feel good for Bakra, who again he has really struggled this season and at times just kind of been snake and then has your typical number nine curse where you can't put the ball into the back net and it just kind of start weight on you. By the way, he scored here from Sands and Ojeda to make it 4-2, and yeah, that was the final score of this game. Very entertaining game in a neutral perspective. And again, I beg MLS to create more of these Friday games because again, this week, another issue about this week is that all these games are going to be happening on Saturday, and all of them is going to be in all of them are going to be in the evening time in a crunch kind of period where I'm pretty sure every fans are not happy the fact that MLS continue to create these games in such uh, a short amount of time and just kind of crunch all together. But in terms of shots in this one, 14 shots to the 15 that Orlando has, 8 shots on goal for the 6 that NYCFC had. Both teams had 3 shots off target, 4 shots that was blocked for the 3 that Orlando has. And possession-wise, 54% possession compared to 46% possession that Orlando City has in this game. And again, for NYCFC, yes, I know they get the win, but Nick Cushing's probably not going to be happy about how his team performed, especially in the second half when they just way too complacent in here, and it almost cost them because of it. And for Orlando City, I mean, I guess the positive coming out of this game is that they at least show some fight in this game, especially in the second half. But unfortunately, this has been where they have really kept themselves into the playoff race because these good role performance, and this was definitely not one of those. If you subtract what we saw in the second half, I mean, that first half was just It was an atrocious role performance, and again, maybe part of that is because of the fact that High went down with that injury. It might have kind of shocked a lot of Orlando City player, but still, and these are kind of the games that they need resources, especially that's been what they've been relying on to stay in the playoff hunt. And also, not to mention, we'll see what the status is going to be from both Mason Stoudemire and Micah Jones. Won't be surprised if both of these players might suffer a season-ending injury because yeah, that was a very scary incident that what we saw in the first half. But there you have it. That is pretty much it for the review of this game. As always, let me know in the comments below what do you think of this game. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to like, smash the subscribe button, and I'm also going to basically do the preview of the 13 remaining games from match week number 22 after I finish this video. But like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.